congratulations. Like this is cool. So you got four properties? Like, do you remember how much you paid for them?
So the first one was 25. So I got lending for 30. So 25, 40, um, 47, and I want to say the other two were like 40, 47-ish, 46, 47.
Perfect. Do you remember how much you sold them for?
All of them are in like the 100,000. I just yeah, I kind of that's the one method that I haven't been truly following.
Oh
But
yeah,
other
you
like
make it work.
I've been telling them they're between 90,000 and 100,000. So it's still like doubling our profits, being able to pay back the lender and then having the 50,000 ourselves is still pretty good. So yeah.
That's amazing. That's
The
amazing.
only
Awesome.
one that's not that way is the Genesee, and we're selling that for 70 just
That's
because of condition. It's still tripling what we got it for, so or
still
take.
good profit. Yeah, still great profit. Cool, cool, cool. So, hi everyone. My name is Michael Kiers. Thanks for checking us out. Me interviewing the awesome, awesome Tiffany Charles. My name is Michael Kiers. For those of you who don't know, I am a virtual wealth flipper. I'm a real estate investor. It's basically online real estate investing. I buy properties for cash less than $50,000 as is, and then I sell them on seller financing as is to individuals who have not so good credit or who are tired of renting for $100,000. So I've been doing that for the last couple of years, but almost 5 years now. And I'm here with Tiffany. Tiffany, you want to introduce yourself to the gang?
So I'm Tiffany Charles. I have D. Marie Investments. That is what I have started this whole real estate journey. Michael, you were my first. So to be an investor, and that's what my plan was, is just to be a private money lender and to just lend out my money and just do passively. Um, and with the more knowledge I gained, I decided to do this and get enrolled in your course. And so I've been doing that. I create events. So I work with restaurants and I create like events they're wanting to do. I've been in the restaurant industry for over 25 years. But moving out of that to now create my own events of retreats, masterminds, and workshops. So I create those. We're actually holding a really luxurious retreat here in Scottsdale, Arizona in March. And then to just add on to everything else I do, I have a nonprofit where we help people get funding to do holistic treatment or mindset treatment or anything they want to do in the holistic realm. We help with funding. So yeah.
Wow, no, you're busy. And that makes sense why you travel quite often, right? I remember you always
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna be away. Nice, nice, because you're doing retreats. Cool, cool, cool. So let's jump in. A couple of questions. Tell me a little bit more about when you first thought to be a real estate investor. What kind of like sparked your interest and what potential, what really like fueled you to like go ahead and do it?
So real estate has always had my attention just because of so many different things you can do and like take a little piece from over here and a little piece from over there and combine it in a fun little way and make money off of it. It's just I never did my due diligence and really dove deep into any one thing. It wasn't until I got into like the Chris Noggle world, where he talked about becoming your own bank and being able to lend money that way, and going to a lot of his events that he would host, really got me even more interested in real estate. I stuck with just being a passive for what 3 years, just lending out money privately, and that was great. But I want like there was this hunger of like I want to be a little more active. I want to learn a little bit more. And then your opportunity, I just happened to run across one of your Facebook posts and I was like, this is it. It felt right. Like this is it. And like how I've always been told, like learn from someone you know, like and trust. And so the relationship you built in the beginning of all, like with me as a lender, I trusted you and I was like, let's do this. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to learn something. And yeah, Yeah, that was pretty much
Awesome.
the end of it all.
So for you, there weren't any like big obstacles, no fears or anything like that. It was kind of organic in the fact that you already kind of knew me and kind of was already lending in the space.
Yeah, there was no like something that if you don't already know about me, I just jump in. And I don't let that fear kind of ride me or like control me. And yeah, am I scared about a couple of things? Like yeah, and my first property I got, I could say now I played a little scared. Yet when it comes to something that I am interested in and I have a passion about, and I know that I can do it, I'm just gonna jump in. I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna go all in and let's see what happens. It's either it works out and I get to learn something so new, or it doesn't work out and I still learn. Like I learned that this is not what I liked and it wasn't for me. And it's not about it works out or I fail. It's about I learn or I learn. And so either way, I'm learning so much, and and this is just something that's working out and that I do enjoy. So
Yeah, that's an awesome perspective, and I can tell now why you're always successful in things that you do because you have that approach that you have to have, right? Nothing is good or bad; it just is, right? And if you can, depending on how you look at it, that can help you move forward. So that's cool. So for you, you didn't like compare different strategies or kind of question out what type of real estate investing you wanted to do. You just happened to see a post and said, let me see what Michael's talking about and learn a little bit more.
well, yes, yes, and because I've already lent to you and I already had an idea on the other side of what it was like, and then seeing your success as well, I I was like, this is it, because I thought like there's been other investments I was thinking about doing, like wholesaling. But there's certain things to that I just know I don't enjoy. And so like I almost invested 5,000 in that and I backed out because it's like I guess when you listen to yourself, like your gut knows, like, okay, this is the avenue you go down, or this isn't. And it could be, this could be my fear or whatnot. But when I find hesitation in something, like I don't just jump in and say yes and do it, then I need to step back for a second and be like, okay, is this me because I'm scared, or is this me because my body, my gut, whatever is telling me this isn't the avenue you should be going down. And so since I already knew the back end kind of your deals, then I was like, I can learn the front end, and to do it from the comfort of my own home was a plus, and that I wouldn't be cold calling all these people was a huge plus. So yeah, they had all these benefits to it that I was like, yeah, let's do this.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I think for me too, when you talk about listening to your gut and listening to your intuition and understanding, you know what, this isn't the right decision for me because I'm not excited. I'm not taking that leap. It took me a while to learn how to listen to that inner voice. So that's kind of cool that you understand that and leverage it, and it happened during this process. So once you got into virtual wealth flipping, what was the first big aha moment for you that you had when you were learning and moving forward?
I was like, aha, it can be this easy. Seriously, it's like, okay, let's go. Um, But again, that if I had an aha moment, it would have been that like, oh, I can really do it from the comfort of my own home, and I could really make this work. And it just, I'm going out of Michigan because of the fact like I have an aunt there that's a realtor, and just kind of playing it a little bit safe to go somewhere where I know. And then she got me connected with my realtor, which all worked out. And so it was it is that easy. And continuing just to I learn as I watch and then I do, because again, if you watch the whole programs and all that, and then you're like, okay, now what, you still like your mind gets in the way sometimes of like, oh no, like this is too scary, or oh no, this. And I didn't do that. I just like I'd watch the first video, I'd take notes, and okay, do that first step. And it was literally go each video play by play, and it was that easy.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. So what aspect of the virtual wealth flipping method made the biggest difference for you? Like, can you share like a specific strategy or a tool that helped you land your first deal?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know if I've truly figured out my method yet. And like how I landed my first deal was literally play by play of just going through your method, and doing everything that I was taught to do. And so like followed that, and then within, getting my first deal, yeah, I would tweak what would work for me and how I would do things. Or I know there was one part in within your method, I jumped ahead. I posted the house before I even owned the home, and I was having calls on the home, and I was like, "Oh, I probably shouldn't do that next time," because by the time that I owned the home, all these people weren't interested anymore, and they found something. And so there was benefits of going down the list, but yeah, it. I'm still working on my method and what works for me and how it'll all play out.
Mhm.
But it is until then, like, it was following the work, the
Yeah.
classroom.
Tell me a little bit more about that. Like exactly what did you do? Like what did the instructions do, or what did my method instruct you to do, and how
Yeah.
did you?
So it was, so the one thing that I absolutely love is all the organization, and and to be able to create, these Google documents and like ABC and or AB and then BC and like I thrive in that. I have spreadsheets beyond spreadsheets of everything and call like it's so much fun. And so seeing that I get to do that was awesome. So at first it was the spreadsheet of, okay, go find a property. And take the property and put it in this spreadsheet and categorize it from 1 to 4 and all that. So I did that, and I had maybe 15 homes. And so from there it was find a realtor. At first I was hoping my aunt would do it, to be honest, help her out as well, but she didn't want to drive to Flint. So she found somebody that would work with me. And finding a realtor is extremely important, and really getting to work well with your realtor, because at first, like, and I don't know if he still fully understands what we're doing. He's getting better at it. But at first, I was actually going to fire him. But after emailing you and you're like, oh, he does a great job, I was like, maybe I should kind of give this
Oh,
guy
yeah.
a chance.
Yeah, I remember. I
Um,
remember.
and then realizing it was just a communication thing. Like was still new in this area and working with a realtor, and like I've only worked with a realtor to purchase my property. So yeah, it like the first couple of weeks or so was just kind of dancing around, and then we got the swing of things, and he's awesome. Like, he's awesome. Um and then from there it was asking him to go look at the properties and to send pictures, and from there it was going to find a title company, which my aunt helped me out with that, and we found a title company that would work for us at that time. And just kind of the steps to it, like step by step of, find a home, find an agent, then a title company that you can build a relationship with. And then it came to the time of, okay, find a lender. And so I created a PowerPoint, and did a video through it, or did it, talking about it, about the home, and then about what it takes to be a lender. And then I presented on Private Money Club, which allowed me to connect with a whole bunch of different people and got people off of that, like, interested or just curious of what we do. Um, and then eventually, a lender reached out, and asked if she could lend to it, and from her IRA. And I was like, yes, perfect. Um, and so yeah, from there we closed, and that property, we're still looking for a buyer. But the other three properties we have a buyer for, or we already have people in them. Um, and it's just going through everything.
Wow, wow. So you have four properties already.
Yes, 4 properties.
Nice, nice. So, and how long have you been a real estate investor now?
How long? So started this in July, I think,
Okay.
and had my first property by the beginning of September.
Wow.
And then after that, I held off for a little bit because I was nervous. Like the one thing that made me nervous and scared was like finding lenders. I I was struggling in that area. And what I've always been taught is, hire your weaknesses. And so I ended up partnering with someone and she is amazing at it. And so after that, getting other houses was just one right after another. Like we closed on the same day on 2 homes. So yeah.
Wow, you got two deals in one day. That's amazing. So, how much money have you and your partner raised so far?
Let's see. So 100 and so 185,000
Wow.
around, give or
And
take.
4 months, 5 months?
Yeah, and we have lenders ready for us to have a property. It just we kind of put a halt on it with, some learning things that we're learning right now. So we kind of put a halt on buying properties for a second, and determining if we want to continue in Flint, or we actually just got off a phone call and thinking about going to Arkansas because a person out there has 5 properties that they're willing to sell, and 3 out of the 5 have people already in them. So we're like, oh, maybe.
Hmm.
And we have at least 5 lenders that are ready to lend to us right now. They're just waiting for us to have properties. So the lending part is, we're good there now.
Wow, wow. And so, and the properties that you purchased, so you only raised 180,000 and you got 4 properties with 180 grand. So
Mhm.
these properties are inexpensive.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like my first one was 25,000. My most expensive, I would say, if you want to say that, it would be 47,000. So we haven't even gone above 50, and we're looking at it and just seeing what that looks like. But right now it's just we've stayed in that range and it's been awesome.
Yeah. And you've been able to upsell them for twice as much, 3 times as much without doing anything
Yes.
to, without saying anything by following the
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. So, I know everyone kind of like hits challenges, even if they have the best system in place. Has there been any hurdles, any lessons that you've learned so far over this for a period of time?
Yeah, there many,
Yeah.
many of different lessons. First for me, just me, I learned that for me and how I work, I love being on the back end. Give me all the stuff. I'll categorize it. I'll talk to the people borrowers. For some reason, I'm good with talking to them. But when it comes to like the lending part, I got to see that there's some things that I can improve on, and that is one of them. Um, and then and talking, I guess, in general, because, the communication with my realtor, like that was a little hiccup at first. The communication with the title company, like trying to make that bond and them not talking to me and only trying to talk to the realtor. We actually like that. If anything, that's been a big struggle. We have yet to build an actual, like, have a set title company. We were going through Chicago title, which I did really enjoy. Yet because they were only based out of like the west side of the state, we had people drive, and that cost us a little bit extra on like the HUD. But they didn't want to communicate with us. It was only like by email or any of that. And then I went through 2 different other title companies on these last 2 homes, and not my favorite. So we're still in that process of building with title companies. Um, and other than that, it is really doing your due diligence with the homes. I'm learning a lot about these homes, and what more to look for, or what to tell my realtor to look for, or even find people. Like I have a plumber now that is amazing, that's willing to go out and go with my realtor to look at these houses to make sure we're not putting any money into them. Yes, and we're getting as is, but I'm also continuing to learn from, the community, knowing that if we do need to put money in, we can ask the seller to pay for it, which was huge to learn. Like that was amazing. So it's I'm learning a lot, and I know it's not going to stop. I know it's going to continue, and the vision that my partner and I have, it's always going to continue to be learning because of just scaling and where we want to go with this and our vision in it at our end game in it all. So yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You know, real estate can be tough, and I know you mentioned the word easy, and you know I have to be careful when I say that to some people because of the challenges some people have. But not everyone in your circle can be supportive, right? Sometimes. Have you had any skepticism from like friends or family, and if so, how have you been handling that?
I want to say that I'm very blessed in that. Like it's crazy. I I have a supportive fiance. My dad went out to Michigan with me, when we were going to set up people to get into the houses and sign contracts, and visit family. So that's also a blessing. I get to do, two birds with one stone. And he's even looking at these properties and like, "Ooh, cool." And he actually wants to get in and be like, "Hey, can I fix some of these up?" And I was like, "No, no, you can still. It's as is." He's like looking in his, mind of projects, and like my aunt is so she's the one person that's so open-minded. Like I got her into, the Chris Noggle, and she's invested with like the Fullers, and she actually wants to do this. And she wants to do this eventually. So I've been very blessed to not have people like in at least my close inner circle that would continuously be in my ear that you shouldn't be doing this. Like if, somebody at work, like my GM, one of the GMs at the place I create events, he makes his little comments. But other than that, I don't let it phase me because at the end of the day, it's his experience. He has never had experience in this, and the stuff that he hasn't gone well. And so I just get to sit with myself, and it also helps like my mindset. My mindset is huge in this all too. So it to answer your question, no, I haven't had the skepticism that maybe some have, and it's just been a blessing to be surrounded by these people.
That's amazing. Yeah, because especially what we do is so unorthodox and so different. And even when I tell people, friends and family, they look at me like I'm crazy sometimes. But you know, when they hear the results, they take a step back. But in the beginning, to your point, you know, I wasn't as blessed. You know, of course, I had my wife who always had my back and you know, helped me get my first deal. But it can be tough, right? And you learned early on, like I did, that you know that's their experience, right? They don't know what we know, and just be careful who you listen to. So that's pretty cool. Cool, cool, cool. So looking at the results that you have achieved, right? You know, whether it's more freedom or revenue growth or peace of mind, what's been the most life-changing aspect of the success so far, Vinny?
One life-changing aspect, I would have to say it's getting to the financial freedom, and being free to do this. Like I have wanted to leave my job for a really long time, and I have, you know, made that choice to leave it and do these adventures, and live off of, something my home equity line of credit, a little bit of it, to be able to do this. And so now it's getting that freedom to be able to pay myself back because I'm my biggest ROI. So now I can pay myself back as well as like I'm building finances for myself, and when I don't have like events to go create. So I would say like it would be that and the freedom to just be and be able to create and run my nonprofit and run my event center, retreat center as well. So it would definitely be that.
That's amazing. That's amazing. What do you think sets the virtual wealth flipping method apart from other real estate strategies? Like, is it a game changer in your opinion?
I don't like So I haven't done a lot of other real estate strategies to say, what it sets it apart, but I will say like I've done a lot of coaching. I've done plenty of coaching, and had many, many of coaches. And what sets it apart is you being with them and making sure they're successful, because most people that invest in something like this. And I've heard, horror stories about people investing in like these real estate things, and they just give them a whole bunch of recordings and they go do it. But they don't really see the success of their people, and cheer them on, yeah, through like a message or whatnot. But you're literally there, every Wednesday cheering us on, and we're helping each other out. And that's another thing, is the community itself too, is we're so willing to help. It's not about, oh, it's mine and mine alone, and I'm not going to give you my secrets. It's no, like, here, this is kind of what we're doing. I hope it works for you, or or anything like that. It's the community, it's the cheerleading, it is making sure your students are successful. At the end of the day, if they're successful, then we all win. You're winning, we're winning, and it looks good. And not a lot of coaches are like that. They just are like, here's a workbook, go fill it out, and hopefully you have a transformation or you make the wealth that you want. Not a lot of people stick by their community and make sure that they're successful, that everybody wins.
Mm, mm. Well said. If you were speaking to someone that was sitting on the fence about joining the program, what would you tell them about its worth?
I would tell them, so like if my aunt, for example, tell them, and I so for one pause on that, like, you're easy, it isn't easy. It's just the way, again, it's all about mindset, the way you kind of look at it. And so when I talked to my aunt, I was like, it's simple and easy. And she gets that language because she's in the, same boat as me. And so I was like, it's simple and easy, and that you literally could just go through the videos. It's step by step. And everybody's super friendly within the community, and it's well worth it. It's an investment that you're going to get back tenfold, and it isn't a sprint. Like, you're not going to get it all back, in the first deal that, well, maybe, with your down payment, maybe you will get it back in the with the first house that you do. But to build on that and 10x it, yeah, it'll be a couple. It'll, maybe be three, and you'll 10x your investment. So it's it's powerful, and that's what I would tell them. It's powerful, and then I would explain how simple it can be, and that also, you have a community that's backing you as well.
Wow, that's awesome. Well said. I didn't realize this until I started the program, that there are a lot of people struggling in real estate. And I know you don't have much experience with the different strategies that some people are doing, but it sounds like you are familiar with wholesaling. But the biggest challenges that I hear some people kind of talk about, especially in wholesaling, is I can't find a good deal, right? And obviously, this program solves that immediately right from the gate. Or I hear people say, "Well, I don't have the funds, I don't have capital, or I want to do wholesaling so I can get capital, so I can get some buy and holds, right? Or I don't know how to underwrite the deal, right?" So, what would you tell someone that is struggling with their particular strategy, right? Whether it be a mindset, a grit, or believe in themselves, like, what words of wisdom would you share with them?
It's definitely about the mindset and how much effort you put into it. Because yes, I say simple and easy, but again, it is not as simple and easy that how I may make it sound. It is work. Like, it's putting in that work, and knowing that your work will it will turn into an outcome, and that investment, and you'll get money back. Um, but yeah, it's kind of lost my train of thought
Oh,
there.
no worries, no worries.
Um,
You were saying that it is the mindset and this that they
It
have
is
to.
the mindset. Yes, it is all about the mindset and just sticking to that. Because if you think, like, perfect example with the first lender, if I had the mindset of, oh my gosh, I'm not going to get this, or I'm not, or what happens if I don't get it, you're putting that out there. So eventually, like, you're not going to get it. You're not going to receive what the universe or God or whatever you believe in, you're not going to receive what is actually wanting to come to you. And as some people may think that's silly, but it's not. Like, having that, it'll work out. Like, I got this, or journaling it down, and just staying in that like neutral deposit mindset, not going to the negative. Because once you hit over there, whatever you're thinking is it's going to come true. And then you're going to get frustrated. And then you're going to be like, oh, this stupid program didn't work. No, it didn't work because you didn't have the mindset of it is going to work and I'm going to make it work. You just, oh, something negative happened, or it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to because you didn't put in the effort, or you had that crappy mindset. Just know. And I don't want to be like, oh, if you believe it happen, if you believe it, it'll happen. Yeah, you have to also put some work into it. But just staying neutral to the positive and putting in the work, it's definitely a mindset for a lot of it.
That's awesome to hear. And yeah, I learned the same types of lessons over time. Is that it's 99% mindset. And I think it was Robert Kiyosaki. I put a post on maybe like Instagram or like Facebook, and he was like, "Life doesn't happen to you; it
Hmm.
responds to you. It responds to you." So to your point, if you can do a great job of keeping that right mindset, it will cause you to take that action that you normally wouldn't take, right? It will inspire you to make that phone call or to say the right thing to the right person or to have one person introduce you to another person that can change. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, Tiffany, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. You are awesome. I can't wait to see what it looks like 6 months from now. And let's keep rocking.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate your time, and this was fun. Yeah, and I'm looking to see what else we can all create together.
Awesome. And see, that was amazing. Thank you so much.
Of
How'd you
course.
feel?
We're
Was it
good.
like, too crazy? Was it
No,
like,
no, not at all. It was great. I After you asked me the whole, like, did I invested in any other, like, real estate adventure? I actually did after yours. And that's why the whole you make sure we're successful because the other people didn't. And
mm,
and I was like, and it seems so simple. Like, that's where it seems so simple. And even like doing um their classes were a minute to 90 seconds. And I was like, how am I supposed to, like, what are you teaching here? And they had
oh,
three of them. And then, like, yeah, you could have made a huge amount of money from it, yet it wasn't worth it. Like, and
wow.
it was crazy. But other than that, and it was $300, so it wasn't like that big of an investment, but still.
That's probably why the product is the way it is. But yeah, yeah. I mean,
It was 300 a month. I will say
oh,
300 a
oh,
month.
that investment. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
So,
I'm hearing some horror stories from the people I talk to. It's just ridiculous out here. And to your point, that's why a lot of people are jaded, especially when it comes to this industry in the States, because it's one of the real estate is a natural affinity of coaching because there's so many moving parts. There's so many different ways to do it. There's so many different creative things. People are so surprised that I don't hoard information. And that's because, right? It's like if you win, we all win, right?
mhm.
Rising tide raises all ships. So awesome. Thank you so much. I'll
Yeah,
chop this down. I'll post it on the YouTube. I'll share it and I'll tag you. And let's get some more properties. I'm excited for you guys.
thank you. I appreciate you.
I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Peace.